In this video, I'm going to tell you what the SRL-3 is for, then we'll go through the install, and finally I will show you all of its functions and features. The SRL-3 is made specifically for SHOEI's GT-Air 3 and SHOEI's Neotec 3 helmets, and it's based off of Sena's Quantum series lineup, which also includes products like the really popular 50S. The SRL-3 has all of the same features as all of the Quantum series products, including SOUND by Harman Kardon, Mesh Intercom. It has a talk time in particular for this model of 8 hours on a single 2.5-hour charge. The range that you can get between two of the SRL-3 products, 1.2 miles or 2 kilometers, and if you have at least 6 people in your group, then that range extends to 5 miles or 8 kilometers, and that's a lot of distance. Just like the entire SRL line, the SRL-3 is available through authorized SHOEI retailers, but you can find it on Sena.com, and when you click the Buy Now button, it will take you directly to their dealer locator page. Now I want to show you how to install the SRL-3. I'm going to demonstrate on the GT-Air 3, but the process is going to be exactly the same on the Neotec 3. The only difference is I'll be using the wired mic for the GT-Air 3 because it's a full face helmet, whereas on the Neotec I'd recommend using the boom mic since it's a modular helmet that flips up in the front. When you purchase your SHOEI helmet, you'll find one of these nifty tools inside of the box. So there are a few parts that are designed to be removed. I'm going to start with this rear piece here. You'll find some foam inside. You don't need this. Now let's remove the side panels. So we'll continue the operation by removing the cheek pads. They're secured inside with 2 snaps and then tiny little hooks on the inside here. There's one. And 2. Next, we'll remove the speaker filler pads. Let's remove the other side now. Easy. Okay, now we're gonna put the good stuff inside of this GT-Air 3. We'll start with putting the battery pack in. I like to stick all of the wires and the speakers inside. This little tab is gonna go right in this hole. Make sure that it goes on the inside of these rubberized straps. And it should snap right into place. There we go. Next, we're going to install the lateral controls. Start with the front end and put that little tab and snap everything in like that. Okay, now let's move over to the right side. Same thing, start with the front tab first, hook it in, push it in, and snap it down. Now we're going to install the left antenna, and it's going to go right in between the helmet shell and the pad, like so. And it sits right behind the control panel. Well, can't have too much of a good thing, so there are 2 antennae, and we're going to install the second one. And we'll put it right here on the right-hand side, behind the right-hand control panel, between the pad and the helmet shell. There we go, slips right in. Now we're going to install this Harman Kardon speaker on the left side, and you can see that it has these little tiny tabs. These are going to align with this specially cut hole for the speaker inside of the GT-Air 3. There's also a little bit of space for the wire to be routed. So I'm just going to snap this in. There. So this is the right-hand speaker, and you'll notice that it's almost the same as the left-hand speaker, except for this little port. This is where the microphone gets plugged in. Now, if I was going to be installing the boom mic, I would plug the boom mic in, but I'm going to be using the wired mic today on this GT-Air. So I'll plug this right in here, like so, until it snaps in. So we'll just align this here. Now we'll route the microphone wire. You can see that there's a specially cut channel in here, and there are tiny little tabs that will help the wire stay in place. Just be careful because they're pretty fragile. The last ones seem a little bit more rigid, so you can kind of just push the wire right through and around. Now the microphone is lined up with its special microphone cutout, but it won't stay there all alone. You have to use a hook and loop attachment, and it has adhesive on the back. There we go. It's exactly the right size to fit in the microphone hole. Stick it in like so, and then the hooks will attach to the loop. There. Now we have the microphone all set up, and it's time to tuck away the extra cables. So begin with this fettuccine shaped wire that comes out of the side control panel and tuck it down pretty deep. And once it's set in, place your antenna down in the side as well. You might have to like wiggle it just a little bit to get it all set in. There's a trick to getting these cheek pads in nice and easy. Personally, I used to dread it before I knew this trick, so I want to share it with you. If you take a look There's a notch right here at the front and one at the back. Begin with the rear slot, line it up with a notch in the pad, slip it in and push it back. If you don't do the pushing back step, you'll end up with a little bit too much material here, and then the front notch won't line up with the front pin. This is the front of the helmet, the rear of the helmet. This is the front pin, and just below these wires is the rear pin. So now I got the back pushed into the notch. I'm going to slip a little bit more of the pad down along through to the middle inside of the helmet, and then I'm going to just push the pad back. There, it's clipped in. Now the front notch aligns with the front clip. We'll put it in. There, perfect. Now we're going to pop the cheek pad back in. We have two white snaps. There's one side on the helmet pad and the other matching side on the helmet's foam. So we'll line this up. 1 and 2. There we go. So now that your SRL-3 is all installed, let's charge it up. It will come with a little bit of a charge, but to get the full 8 hours of talk time, you'll need to charge it for 2.5 hours. The USB port is right here in the back with this little protector here. You can plug any USB-C cable into it, or you can use the included USB Wi-Fi adapter. The SRL-3 has 4 buttons. On the left-hand side, there are 3 buttons here: the plus button, the center button, and the minus button. And on the right-hand side is the Mesh Intercom button. To turn the SRL-3 on, press and hold the front and center buttons for 1 second. The first time that you turn the SRL-3 on, it will go automatically into phone pairing mode. To pair your phone, simply go into your device's Bluetooth settings and select SRL-3. The flashing blue light indicates that the SRL-3 is on and also that the Bluetooth connection is functioning. The Bluetooth connection is what will connect your SRL-3 with your phone so that you can take phone calls, listen to your phone's playlist, or hear turn-by-turn GPS directions. If you want to turn the volume up, press the plus button, and to turn the volume down, press the minus button. If you get a phone call while you're riding, to accept the call, all you do is press the center button 1 time. And if you would like to reject the call, press and hold that center button for 2 seconds. To end a phone call, press and hold that center button for 2 seconds. To use the Mesh Intercom, simply tap the Mesh button 1 time. The Mesh Intercom will turn on, and your device will automatically seek out other Mesh devices that are on the network in the same area. This flashing green light means that you're connected to the Mesh network. If you start to get interference on your Mesh Intercom network because other riders in the same area are on the same channel, but they're not really part of your group, you can change the Mesh channel. To choose a different Mesh channel, press the Mesh button 2 times. You'll be able to scroll through the channel options, there are 9 of them in total, using the plus and minus button on the left-hand side of the helmet. Once you end up on the channel that you want to use, press the center button once to select it. If you're riding with friends who don't have a mesh-ready device, you can also connect through Bluetooth intercom. To turn on the Bluetooth intercom, press and hold the center button. Your SRL-3 will go into pairing mode. The red light will start blinking. When both of you have your helmets in pairing mode, one of you needs to press the center button again, and the helmets will be paired. If you're on the Mesh network and you'd like to share your music with friends, all you have to do is press and hold the minus button for 3 seconds. You'll hear a message saying that you have shared your music, and your friends will hear an invitation to accept music sharing. If they'd like to accept, all they have to do is tap the Mesh button 1 time, and if they don't like your taste in music, they can reject that offer by holding the Mesh button for 1 second. So there you have it, the SRL-3, Sena's latest and greatest SRL for the GT-Air 3 and the Neotec 3. If you have any questions, I'll leave a link down in the video description below so that you can get some tech support.